Welcome back to Detailed Reviews, and this is going to be a video about things that I like about my Outlander and things I'm not so keen about my Outlander. Now of course this is purely personal view, doesn't reflect Mitsubishi. I don't work for them, have nothing to do with them, and when you get an Outlander you may find that your Outlander is quite different to this depending on the model level and also depending on the country. So let's get into it. The first thing that I really like about the Outlander is it has power sockets that allow you to power things when you're either away from home or when you're, some sort of a power cut or the like. There's two of them, the first being in the boot and the second of them being between the passengers on the seat. So you can see the second one here now. To lift up the flap you can look at it and you can see they give 1500 watts of power with a plug that's designed for New Zealand and Australia and other parts of the world. I would assume you get different ones in your own country. And then a bit further up you can see what else you get in the back. You get two USB powers and you get other controls for the heating and rear seats. Now the next thing that I really like is that the USB ports are always live, or at least most of the time live, which means I've got an old iPhone sitting in the car with some music on it and it's always charged. With pretty much any other car, iPhones will go flat unless you're going on a very long distance, so that's a fantastic thing to have, is to have your charger always on so you can leave an old phone in there. Now moving on to the first thing that I'm not that keen on with the Outlander is I like to always have the display on the screen which shows me how much battery I'm using and how much I got left. Now whenever you put the cruise control, it changes to the distance following between you and the car in front, and it will just stay there. It doesn't just go there for a few seconds. You have to actually go into the settings and change it back, which I find really annoying, especially when I'm trying to drive along. It's not really the best thing that you should be doing. The next is very much a matter of opinion, but I'm not that keen on these low profile tyres. I find when you go over a bump they're quite harsh, whereas other tyres wouldn't be. This warning message which you get when you start the car up never goes away. With my other car it sits there for a minute or so and then it disappears. The only way to get rid of this message is to click on OK. It's very frustrating, especially when you forget. In New Zealand we drive on the left hand side of the road. However, in this car the seats seem to be the wrong way around. We've got the two seats on the left hand side, which means if you're trying to put children in the back it's harder to do. It'd be better if it was the other way around. Please let me know in the comments if it's the same way around in left hand drive countries. When you get into the car, these indicator lights behind the mirror light up to make the determination whether there's a passenger inside or not, and as to whether the airbag for the passenger side should be on. You can see here, however, it is oh so bright when you're driving along at night time. When you are in stop-start traffic and the car in front of you starts to move ahead, the cruise control simply turns itself off and then the car will lurch forward. It does give you a couple of chimes to warn, but it's quite strange. You can see the outside temperature is 11 degrees. I've started the car up and the engine has come on automatically. This is not something I want. There's charge in the battery as you can see. So what I've done is I've turned the car off, put the car into accessory mode only, then I push the EV button and you can see the car is now in EV mode. Put my foot on the brake and start the car up again. And this time the engine doesn't start on the car. As this is an EV car, this is what I want to happen every time, not by having to go through this process to make it happen. Let's test to see what happens if I try to reverse into this mattress I've propped up here. The car should come to a stop. I'm not going to use any pedals. I'm simply going to let the car move all by itself. And I hit it. I hope you've enjoyed this quick look into my own car and my own experiences. Remember, everyone's going to have a slightly different experience. This is my car and yours could be quite different. Make sure you like and subscribe. Cheers.